In 1768, about 1,400 colonists from the Mediterranean region, primarily from the island of Minorca, but also from Corsica, Sardinia, Greece, and Italy, boarded ships bound for British East Florida. They were recruited by Andrew Turnbull, a Scottish physician and entrepreneur, to work on his plantation in New Smyrna, located about 70 miles south of St. Augustine. They signed contracts as indentured laborers. The promise was that after their term of service, originally set for 6 to 8 years, they would receive some land and freedom. But once they arrived in New Smyrna, they encountered extremely harsh conditions: swampy, mosquito-infested land, inadequate housing and food, disease, and harsh overseers. Within months, many died. The Father Pedro Camps kept records of the baptisms, marriages, and deaths. This document became known as the Golden Book of the Minorcans. Despite these conditions, they began work clearing fields and cultivating indigo, which was used as purple dye for clothing, all the rage at the time. They also grew sugarcane and other crops. By many accounts, of the roughly 1,400 who made the voyage, only around 600 remained in 1777. In breach of contract, their indentures were extended, promises were broken, and grievances mounted. In 1777, the remaining settlers reached a breaking point. Some of the men carried their complaints to the new British governor of East Florida, Patrick Tonyn. Governor Tonyn, who had no love for Turnbull, accepted their petition, released them from their contracts, and offered asylum in St. Augustine. The remaining, nearly 600 survivors, marched 70 miles to the north to St. Augustine.
Upon arrival in St. Augustine, the Minorcans were granted land within the city walls in what became known as the Minorcan Quarter, the northwest section of town. Governor Tonyn's decision significantly changed the trajectory of their lives and altered the character of the city, which at the time swelled the city's population by more than 50%.
In St. Augustine, the Minorcans built homes, worked as fishermen and artisans, and integrated into the community. They reinvigorated and deepened the Catholic faith, which had waned during the British occupation. Father Pedro Camps established a parish and continued his role as spiritual leader. Over time, their Mediterranean traditions, language, food, faith, became a part of the fabric of St. Augustine.
Today, many residents from St. Augustine trace their ancestry to the Minorcan settlers. Their legacy is visible in the local cuisine, such as datil pepper sauce, which we will be making later this week on the channel, and, of course, Minorcan clam chowder, in family names, and in the culture of the city. The arrival of the Minorcans helped transform St. Augustine from a small colonial outpost into a diverse, resilient community, their survival and settlement adding new layers of identity.
What began as a venture built on false promises became a story of endurance and transformation. From New Smyrna's fields of forced labor to the streets of St. Augustine, the Minorcans forged a new life. Governor Tonyn's asylum, Father Camps' leadership, and the settlers' own perseverance changed the course of the city's history. Their legacy remains, not as a footnote, but as a cornerstone of one of America's most historic towns.
For more St. Augustine history and content, please like and subscribe.